Hi, welcome back to Vondelpete. I hope you're all doing very well. And in today's brief video, I just wanted to explain why I don't consider myself to be a life coach. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion. And if you do believe that I actually am a life coach, please leave me a note in the comments and explain your side of things, why you think I'm a life coach. But in my personal opinion, I just don't think that I am one. I don't life coach anybody. I don't have any websites or any social media where I'm advertising the services of myself as being a life coach. I think you might notice if you're watching my YouTube channel, there are no links to Vondelpete the life coach and signing up and paying money. There's none of that. It just doesn't exist. And, I challenge you to find my secret life coaching services out there. Now, the other reason I don't think I'm a life coach is that I've been unemployed for many years and I don't have that much going on in my life that's going that well. And I'm very bad at giving other people advice. It's just not something I've ever been good at. In a kind of an extreme way, like people can they can tell me that they're having some ridiculous struggle, like they don't know why there's so many dishes left all around their house, and it's quite obvious because they haven't done their dishes. But I don't even life coach them in that regard. Like, I don't tell them, hey, you could do your dishes. Like, that's how much of a non-life coach I am. Now, I don't think this is necessarily that common, but I think there are some people who become life coaches when they're unemployed and have relationship issues and a lot of their life is in chaos. And it's a good way of coping with that fact. And obviously there's a temptation for me to become a life coach. There was someone I met about 9 years ago when I started working in a government job. I think she was an ESTP personality type because it's kind of hard to think of her as anything else, but she was a bodybuilder actually. But she was working in administration, with sorting envelopes and scanning things. It was pretty low down work. But she was also a life coach. And she told me that she was a life coach during a little drinking session we had early on with a few people. And she didn't like the look of me at all. She was obviously very nervous one-on-one with me, but in a group she was not as nervous. She was a lot more inclined to put me down in front of everyone. She said, why are you doing this job? What did you want to do with your life? And I was like, well, I told her I had a writing degree and outside of work, I try to develop things. And she said, why are you working here then? And she said, look, I'm a life coach. You can trust me. I know what I'm talking about. But my first thought was, hang on, but she's also working in this job. Is this her dream? I didn't want to say anything. She was not a good life coach, by the way. There was this getaway with a few people from work. We were in a beautiful little, I'll call it a cottage. It was a house in a winery area. She didn't like my lack of masculinity. She was always telling me to man up. And I used to have this little quiff in my hair. And I remember over breakfast, she said, you'll never get a girlfriend with that gay hair. I remember she said to me, and I said nothing back because I'm a wimp. But she was a life coach. There was a woman who got divorced. She was in her 50s. And this life coach, she signed her up to a life coaching program. And one of the things on her website was you could join her for a week and just follow her around. I mean, join her at a supermarket as she buys her groceries. And yeah, it was 3,000 Australian dollars. And I guess that's good value for money. It was $3,000 for a month or two. See, I'm not getting my facts right. I'm sorry. It was 1 or 2 months, $3,000. It looked a bit like she was exploiting her, but then again, I don't know. She was a trained life coach. Yeah, we fell out. I think she wanted everyone to support her by going to a bodybuilding conference in Sydney, and you had to pay like a lot of money short notice. And I didn't even like her, so I didn't go. And then she just deleted me on Facebook. But I remember she used to tell me that she only got 5 hours sleep a night, and anyone who sleeps more than 5 hours is lazy. All right, I'll stop complaining about her. She obviously had her own problems, and her life I used to love her wellness and life coaching blog actually, because it was all bitter. It was just hating friends, complaining about friends who emotionally dump on you. It was really nasty, like the nastiest life coach. But I think she, just like me, she came from a divorced family, so all of us traumatized people traumatized each other, I guess. I traumatized her just by my very being, I recall. So I guess that's all I wanted to really say is I don't consider myself to be a life coach. However, I understand why people might think that I'm trying to be one by talking on YouTube, by trying to look like I'm enlightened. But I'm really not. And I'm not going to become a life coach anytime soon unless things get really bad. So that's the end of the video. I'll enjoy this white wine, and it's getting really dark in here. Usually I make my videos in the morning because I can then record for an hour and the sun doesn't... Well, I don't know why I decided to film during sunset. Probably should say by now. Anyway, I guess the good news is you can see my lava lamp, I think better than usual because of the darkness. All that's glowing is I mean, it's not a real lava lamp. It's it's just a screensaver on a TV. I guess if I was a real life coach, I would invest in a real one. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for understanding. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time.